And I really almost let the enemy convince me that I'm not this girl. Girl, you love yourself. You love yourself no matter how you look. I laugh at myself when I do that because I'm like, girl, you are so silly, like for real. But welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, my name is Talia, and I'm really glad that you stopped by to join me. I just be over here living life and talking about Jesus child. And if that's like your thing, I would love for you to stick around. And if you find that I am not your taste, your flavor, your mood, your vibe, I know your people are out there, but I wish you good blessing. I'm gonna start off with that. I'm still working out an intro, y'all. And I don't know. Some days there might be intro, some days there might not. But this morning it felt intro-y, right? It felt like intro. So it is a Sunday in my world. And I was like, before you get in that house for real and get started in your day, why don't you talk to these folks and pick up where you left off? So I closed out a vlog yesterday, and while I was editing, I was like, yo, you never talked to them about your hair. Y'all see me? I told y'all I had the waves to make you seasick. Child. Tripping. So actually, this is a very vulnerable moment for me to talk about this on camera. I actually now love my hair. I want to start there. I love it. And I'm grateful to God. But I didn't love it. I didn't love it. If y'all had seen me about a week ago when it was cut, because it's a week now from when it was cut. A week and a day, actually. I cried like someone had left here and gone on to glory. I was not okay. Now, let me preface this by saying I have shown y'all that I have been bald-headed before by choice. I did it. It was a conscious decision. I asked my husband to do it for me. So I've been here. It's not like I've never been without hair. I think you may know that here my self-esteem may be like a little inflated. No, but actually God has been very kind to me. I've never really experienced body image issues. I tell people all the time that at this point in my life, my fitness health journey is about metabolic health versus how I look, because I've always been okay with how I look. There were times, I'm not going to front, where I was like, I want to be like a little smaller, or it wasn't even about I want to be smaller. It's either I want to buy cuter clothes. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I wanted to do it for fashion. And so, but as I'm getting older, that has changed, and I just want to be around. I want to be up here in this thing with y'all and amongst the living, praise God. So hair and all of that never really defines me. However, for the last 6 years, I had these almost tail length locks. They grew to that. And it was a great experience. I didn't even know that I had that kind of patience to allow my hair to mature that way and to grow. They were beautiful, but in typical me fashion, and I don't mean that bad. I just mean I'm not a hair fussy girl. I kind of find something, I stick with it and keep it moving. Even though I would look at other people's hairstyles in magazines or whatever and be like, man, that's hot. I did have this vision that one day I would go platinum blonde with the short pixie cut at some point. And I'm not platinum yet, but I want to get there. But I would be 100 pounds lighter. So now that you have context about where we are, let's walk it back. So I had an epiphany last week for myself, as these vlogs are entitled The Middle of Becoming, and then whatever is going on, or whatever's going on in the middle of becoming. You have met me in a season of my life where I am growing into really, I think, the woman that I'm going to be till the Lord comes back for us, right? And I'm not like, I haven't attained yet, but I am evolving, changing. A lot of the essence of who I am is still very much me, but then there are parts of me that have definitely grown. I'm a different person than I was when I got married at 21. Okay, I've been married now, this year will make almost 25 years, and I will be 46 this year. And so I've had to have some conversations with myself about how I present to the world, how I show up on camera, what I look like. I be coming out here looking like Jesus don't love me, like I'm not a child of God, and like my dad isn't rich. And these are talks that like I have with myself. My husband is very much like, girl, you're beautiful no matter how you look. And I'd be like, while that may be true to you, I am putting myself out in the world, whether it be on camera or just like out in the wild for real. And I be looking like, who did it and why? Okay, like somebody needs to be on trial. And I've always been fine with that. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because why? And I'm not saying that this is about vanity or about, it's not about vanity, but it is about me taking the time. This is about taking the time to put myself together, to take care of myself in a way that, I think represents the God that's in me, represents the fact that I am a well-loved, well-taken care of woman, the fact that I am a woman of a particular age, I'm out here getting called Miss for real, and I'm like a auntie now. Hello. Hey, auntie. So with that being said, I found that when I cut my hair, I knew that I wanted to do something different, stop putting it back in that ponytail, because people didn't even know I had locks because they were always in a ponytail. If I wanted to really show I had locks, I would swoop them joints to the side. I had all this hair. It was beautiful, gorgeous. Enjoyed that time. New season. You tracking with me? Okay, great. So hair is gone. But I saw a pattern as this new hair was forming out of my head. I was liking that I could wear ball caps now because I had too much hair before to actually wear caps. And I love me a good fitted cap, okay? I really do love caps, and I have, a few. It's not a big collection, but a few, and it's cute. And I realized you can cover up this hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can cover it up. Hold on, y'all. My car was like, girl, you've been sitting here too long. You need light. Let me get y'all some light again. Hold on. Okay, there we go. And so basically, I started wearing these caps. I heat damaged my hair. I wanted to wear it straight, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I got impatient. I was actually preparing to go to a friend's wedding, and I just didn't take the time. I made one of my styling tools too hot. Mind you, I take care of my daughter's hair. She has tons of hair, but I just was rushing through mine. And this is the old me. This is what I've done in the past, kind of rushing through. Locks made me slow down, And so I was like, yeah, this is not the vibe. Like, you can't do this. You can't do this again. So you need to find a style that fits you and that you can kind of do, set it and forget it, and, do that. So I did that. I found that rod sets were beautiful. I'll insert a picture of my last rod set here. I figured out how to faux taper it because I didn't like how wide my face looked. I mean, my face is wide. And it's just, I have a round face. So here we are. But I didn't have any more hair to hide behind, to slick it back in a ponytail. So it needed to be done. I needed to look like someone. Well, I should have left well enough alone, because I go to my husband to give him this epiphany that I had last Saturday and tell him, I'm not about to be out here looking homeless. And while he listens to me, because he is a good man, Savannah, He's like, babe, you're gorgeous and da da da. And I'm like, it's not about me not being gorgeous. Like, I think that I look good. I'm gonna stop with y'all with that. Okay. I don't think that I look bad. I want to preface this by saying I do not think I look bad. I think I look like what I've been through. So it had nothing to do with like my structure, my face structure. Like, I don't dislike my own face. I don't hate my nose, my eyes, all those things. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. But I wanted to look more, like who I really am, because sometimes I be real fly when I put in effort. And this was more about effort. Okay. So I go tell him all this, and I'm like, I'm about to go cut my hair some more because I like better when my hair was shorter. It was a little easier to manage. I could put the gel in it and just go. It kind of feels like it's just too much hair right now. I want to take it lower. Like, I want to get rid of some of this hair. Baby, I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for this to be the outcome. And what happened was, my baby, he loves to fix things, help me, whatever. And he can absolutely cut hair down, take it down, and, whatever. I started cutting it with the scissors, and he was like, girl, I got clippers. Let me, do that. He cuts our kids' hair. I trust him. He has cut my hair down. He's actually cut me shorter than this before. So it wasn't a matter of like, I've never had no hair. It wasn't that. What I realized was, after he went and them clippers went buzz, and he started right here, and he handed me the hair, and I felt my hair, and I said, I freaked out. Like, wasn't disrespectful. I didn't yell at him or nothing like that. I was like, oh my God, what happened? And he was just like, baby, I'm so sorry. Like, I misunderstood what you wanted. And he said to me, he's like, you sure? He did ask me. He was like, you sure? Because this is the longest your hair is going to be now. And I'm looking at the guard, y'all. I don't know what I was going through. My mind processed the guard differently. And mind you, like, I ain't never not been here before, but I think we had a miscommunication about what was happening. He thought that he was doing the right thing. I thought he was doing the right thing. And then I realized that guard meant that's how much of my hair was going to come off. Woo! Guys, I was not okay. And I was not okay for about 3 days. I take pictures of myself almost every day. And for whatever reason, I was not able to take a picture of myself for 3 or 4 days. Great, my battery's dying. About 3 or 4 days. And it was rough. I was like, I didn't want this. And I'm not going to put the picture. Well, I didn't take any. And honestly, when I look at the first picture that I ended up taking afterward, by that time I had put some gel in it. It wasn't this color, but I had put some gel in it. And, it's so short. It was like, it might have been 3/4 of an inch of hair on my head, maybe at the time, or maybe an inch. We'll give it an inch. And I just was like, I can't believe this. And I remember saying to him that day, and we had to be at a party with it. Don't do that. Don't be having somewhere to go and be trying to experiment on your hair. Don't do that. Take time. Take your time. But I didn't even have time to process or reconcile it. I just had to do the best that I could, gel it up. It was a mess. It was a real mess because I didn't let him finish. Because I needed to take agency. So I ended up cutting off my hair with scissors. It was very dramatic, very traumatic. I had a time, honey. A time. But I actually think that as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm going to let this be a standalone video. I'm not even going to let it live with the rest of the vlog. I'm going to talk about what happened, like how I felt. I remember saying to him, I was like, babe, it's okay. Because, of course, he felt horrible. And, guys, let me tell you something. I've been upset with my husband before. We're humans. You know what I'm saying? He's been upset with me, even though I know him and I process, like, upset, hurt differently. He kind of moves on about things. We talk about it and he really lets it go. We talk about it, we let it go, but I'm a woman and sometimes the enemy tries to make me think about it again. Well, funny enough, in that moment, even though I was completely like broken, and I know people are like, it's just hair. It was just hair that I, in my mind, wasn't expecting to cut all off. And it was like I didn't make the decision to do it. I wanted to be upset with him. I did. But I was like, this is not on you. And when I tell you that God gave me that clarity immediately, like I looked at him and I said, this is not your fault. Well, I searched my heart to get mad with him. I'm not going to hold you. Like I wanted to blame him. I wanted it to be his fault. It had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with him. He was trying to help me. He was trying to help me, and he was doing a good thing by trying to help his wife, and he is well capable of helping me in this area. He's not a master stylist, but he can cut a head. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't his fault. This was about impatience. This was about not taking time. This was about moving too fast. But because I believe that all things work together for the good of those that love him and are called according to his purpose, it all works out for my good in the end. I looked at my husband and I said, God allowed it to happen. He allowed it to happen. He knew that you was going to put that guard on there, and that you interpreted what I said as I wanted hair like kind of what I had before. He knew that I wasn't going to pay attention and I was going to let you go ahead and cut it. And he knew that I was going to freak out. But he also knew that this cut was the cut that I really needed and was the cut that I really wanted. And that this is all part of the process of me learning to stop waiting for perfect conditions to do something that I want to do. Come on, somebody. I've wanted this haircut. I'm so sorry for crying on camera. Oh my gosh. I've wanted this haircut in this color again for years. But I had convinced myself that I could not do this until I was a skinny woman. And while I think that's fine, like I think that's fine that was like my, some people got that like dress they're gonna wear once they get to their shape or, whatever. This is me. Y'all didn't know me before. I used to blindly I big chop my hair. The wind blew and I cut my hair off. The wind blew and I would color my hair. I have been red, fire red, burgundy red, platinum blonde, hot pink as a mistake. Orange. I've had all these hair colors, and that's who I was, what I loved. And I had convinced myself that I needed to hide behind the hair because I could make my face look smaller when I pulled my hair back, or, I had convinced myself that that's what it was, when truth of the matter is, girl, you love yourself. You love yourself no matter how you look. And I really almost let the enemy convince me that I'm not this girl. Baby, let me tell you something. I went to the hair store. I will put in the pictures of the progression of my hair, but I went to the hair store. I bought a $3.64 box of color. I think it was Cream of Nature, lightest golden blonde. I hated it so bad. Hated it. This is after I told my husband, I put the clippers back in his hand about 3 days later. And I said, I need you to even me out. I need you to take me up in the back. And if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it. And so we made it even shorter. Okay. And I went out with my hair in its natural state, all the grays showing. And it was kind of patchy to the other color, the old color. I said, hey, cut it up, make it, whatever. And we're gonna go with this. And I said, you remember when I told you that this was probably going to end up being what I needed? Even as I'm sitting there crying, like, I was like, it's okay, babe. This is probably what I needed. It ended up being what I needed. and I ain't even know it. So prepare to be sick of me, okay? With my I'll probably change my hair color another time at least, because I want to get to platinum. And I decided not to do the stuff I used to do back in my olden days, which is take it as light as you can on that first day. I'm going to actually be responsible and, go into it. But I have talked to the Lord. I talked to him about my impatience. I repented to him about my impatience. And don't get me wrong, I think you can just cut all your hair off and you can decide one day you want something different. But this was for me about, girl, chill. It's okay. What I had was fine. And what this is fine. I ended up here because instead of just making a conscious decision and waiting, I needed to get it done right then. Slow down. Don't make rash decisions. My camera is on 2%, so I have to end this here. But I want to tell y'all, it is okay. God's redemption, well, Jesus, God redeemed us through Jesus. That power goes for all of our mistakes. He is there with us to pick up the pieces. And one thing that I always remember is that I never take an L. Never take an L, because all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And I am absolutely called according to his purpose, and so are you if you belong to him. I love you guys. I gotta run because this camera's gonna cut off and I don't want to prolong this, but God bless you, and I look forward to your commentary in the comments. I don't need validation though. My hair looks good. I like it. I look fly to me. And I'm going to spare y'all the song, okay? Put that on my mama. All right, bye, y'all. God bless you.